story from Guatemala. A volcanic eruption has killed more than 24 people and interrupted travel to and from that country.
CBS News' Christy Fajardo is live at LAX, where some flights are being affected by this deadly volcano. Christy.
Yeah, they certainly are, Peter. And to give you some idea, a Delta flight bound for Guatemala City was supposed to leave in about an hour. That has now been delayed till the morning. But another flight, an Avianca flight, has now been canceled. In fact, many of these cars you see lined up here are actually picking people up who were supposed to be flying out. The Volcán de Fuego, or volcano of fire, is erupting about 27 miles from Guatemala's capital. And the airport there is now closed. And when you see this video, you'll understand why. Terrifying images of a deadly eruption near Guatemala's capital city. People run for their lives on a bridge. But the Guatemalan government confirms dozens could not escape the Volcán de Fuego's deadly path, and more are still missing. The windshields of the cars on the roads are covered in ash, is what my family is telling me, says Gilberto La Parra. He's now stranded at LAX, seeing images like these on social media of an ash plume 4 miles long. He's getting messages from his family, uncertain of when he'll be able to touch down in Guatemala. They're okay, he says. It's those surrounding the volcano of fire that are getting the damage. Still, videos like this one his family is sending him are unsettling. He says under all this brown ash is cement, and those gray skies are ash clouds. And he worries about what his loved ones and countrymen are now breathing in. La Parra says he is not holding his breath that he will be on that delayed flight tomorrow morning. In fact, he says he's been calling around to other airlines and has been told it might be until Wednesday until he might be able to get a flight out. And the truth is, no one really knows when that airport might reopen. He also adds he's seen eruptions before, but never anything like this. Back to you.
Frightening situation, Christy. Thanks. Coming up a little later, we'll take you to Hawaii, where the lava has now cut off people in another beach community.
Breaking news in Glendora, a fiery and deadly crash on the eastbound 210 freeway.
Yeah, the CHP says one person was trapped inside a car while another person was killed. At last word, only a carpool lane was open. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
And a memorial is scheduled at Palmdale High School tomorrow to honor the life of a devoted teacher who died while climbing El Capitan at Yosemite National Park.
Tim Klein and Colorado resident Jason Wells were on the free blast route when they fell.
Tim's wife talked about her devastating loss with CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen.
Tim Klein was a member of Grace Chapel, and for the people who knew him, they say his devotion to his faith extended well beyond this church.
He's going to be greatly missed.
J.J. Klein says her husband Tim was a deeply religious man who was always humble.
He believed in people and their ability to impact the world.
Tim Klein fell to his death at Yosemite National Park Saturday. He had been climbing El Capitan with longtime friend Jason Wells. Both are in this picture in which Klein is wearing the yellow helmet. JJ has been told the rope the men shared was cut, but it's unclear what caused their fall.
Tim and Jason were extremely safe climbers. They would always double check each other.
Klein was recently named the Teacher of the Year in the Antelope Valley Union High School District. He worked at Palmdale High School, where he co-directed a program that taught kids how to become emergency medical technicians.
It was as if she was communicating to me, are you going to believe in me?
But his devotion went well beyond the classroom. There was Katie Soriano, who overcame tremendous odds to survive a drive-by shooting.
I see it as a story of belief.
When Katie was too scared to go back to school, Klein decided to face his own fears by trying to break a world record for an indoor climb, and succeeded.
But ultimately his goal was to elevate her to where people couldn't just walk by without wanting to hug her.
This past Wednesday, Klein attended Katie's graduation. Setting audacious goals for the sake of helping others. That is how J.J. Klein wants Levi and Jack to remember their dad. Services for Tim Klein are scheduled for June 23rd at Grace Chapel. In the meantime, we're told Jason Wells' wife is pregnant with their first child. In Lancaster, Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
The brush fire burning along Interstate 8, not far from San Diego State University, is 85% contained tonight. Caltrans had to close the interstate in both directions during the firefight, and dozens of homes were evacuated. So far, it's burned 38 acres.
And tonight, people in Laguna Beach who evacuated for the Aliso Fire are back home. Officials say the fire is now 40% contained. CBS 2's Lori Perez reports from the Top of the World Elementary School, which will remain closed tomorrow as a precaution.
It started to get pretty heated and exciting, and there was a giant gray cloud over on top of us. We decided, let's get the heck out of here.
Who wouldn't seen this as a quick-moving fire consumed 150 acres in the canyon between Laguna Beach and Aliso Viejo. Families and pets
Well, I grabbed him and put him in the car.
got out
I was pretty nervous.
and let fire crews get to work. Overnight, this CAL FIRE inmate crew cleared almost a mile of brush by hand in steep terrain.
Up high, it's fairly short and it was easy work. Once you got down deep into the canyons, it was about 15 foot tall.
2,000 Aliso Viejo homes were evacuated for hours Saturday. 1,500 residents in the so-called top of the world neighborhoods of Laguna Beach had to leave for a stressful day and a half.
At some point, the fire kind of turned, and it looked like it was heading back this way yesterday, and it got kind of terrifying.
You're just watching it like that's where my house is.
Firefighters kept the fire from reaching the Laguna Beach homes, but the flames went right up to the edge of the SoCa University of America campus in Aliso Viejo. Across the canyon, grateful homeowners eyed how close it got and returned home Sunday night, swapping stories of those 10 minutes that feel like 10 seconds when you have to choose what you can't live without.
Stuffed animals, then the computer backup drives, photo albums that I didn't have on the cloud, and then our wedding cake topper.
Very glad to be home, glad to get back to life as usual, and hopefully keep staying safe.
As things get under control here, the focus now turns to how this started. Fire investigators are looking for information and videos and pictures from anyone who was in the area when the fire first began. In Laguna Beach, I'm Lori Perez, CBS 2 News.
A San Diego police officer accidentally shot himself in the leg while pursuing a suspect armed with a pellet gun. She was arrested on the roof of a parking structure, which was near where a marathon was taking place. She was booked for resisting arrest, but could face other charges. Police say that earlier the woman was involved in a hit and run.
Dueling demonstrations today in Portland. Members of the anti-fascist group Antifa interrupted a rally by the right-wing group Patriot Prayer, and it didn't take long for fights to break out. Portland police with riot gear responded and used pepper spray on a handful of protesters.
Another protest in Koreatown against a proposed homeless shelter. It would be located in a city-owned parking lot at Vermont and 7th Street. Demonstrators are angry City Council President Herb Wesson did not consult the community. Many residents and business owners fear the facility would draw more homeless to the area.
A fire at a vacant strip mall left one firefighter hurt while 15 people have to find somewhere else to stay. The fire started overnight in an East Hollywood strip mall, and some apartments in the building next door had fire and water damage. The Red Cross is now helping the 15 people who were forced out of their homes.
3, 2, 1. 0.
Just about an hour ago, SpaceX launched another Falcon 9 rocket into space, sending a powerful satellite into orbit from Cape Canaveral in Florida. The satellite is from SES, a Luxembourg-based telecom company. It'll provide communication services for the Middle East and Asian Pacific regions.
New evacuations in Hawaii. Coming up, another beach community cut off. The only way out is a helicopter.
Plus, an FBI agent does a flip in a nightclub and then his gun goes off. Will he face charges?